courage. No thrones, no crowns, no kings. Say it with me. No crowns, no thrones, no kings. And one more for history. No thrones, no crowns, no kings. Thank you. Reverend Dr. Barber reminds us that a king is not a king until we bow down. And we refuse. Good morning. I am Carolyn Eberly, founding director of Indivisible Charlotte. This crowd is breathtaking. You didn't show up today because this was easy. You showed up today because this was necessary. Every single one of you has a reason to be here. But every single one of you also, we have collectively a reason to be here. And that is, we have courage. And courage is courageous. Courage is contagious. Courage is revolutionary. You are not alone. Look around you. Look to your neighbor. Let them know you are not alone. Go ahead, tell your neighbor, you are not alone. And it's not just here. There are 2,000 protests across this country today. In every state. You are the powerful American majority. We will not be silenced. We will not be ruled. We are not intimidated. The Trump regime is not our new normal. MAGA is not forever. Silence is not safety. It's a lie. It's a lie. Just like the fairy tale. Where's our emperor? It's a lie, just like the fairy tale. Because this emperor, he is naked.
I feel quite hungry.
The Trump regime wins only when we believe, when we accept the lies. But we know the power of democracy does not come from the top down. The power lies with us, the people. And today, the people will prove it. No thrones, no crowns, no kings, no thrones. crowns! No crowns! No kings! Okay, now that you're all fired up, let me give you a couple announcements to help you with your comfort and your safety while you are here. A little housekeeping. If you haven't found them already, we have porta-johns over here to my left. They're next to that brick building. There are 5 of them, including an accessible one, and there's a hand washing station there as well. We have water, snacks, pre-made signs, flags, and fruit. They are all along this area. Fruit and snacks are in the middle with the water. Bottled water is also available during the march. It's going to be at different points on the corners, so know that you can get bottled water while you're walking. There is a medic station to my left at the bathroom, at the brick bathroom building. If you need a medic, that is where you'll need to go. We believe in safety. We have many marshals here to help us with that. If you see someone in a pink vest, they are a marshal, and they are here to help. So if you have questions, yay for our marshals. So if you have concerns, you need to report something, you need some help, find a marshal, they will help you. Related to safety, Indivisible and our partner organizations are all committed to nonviolent protesting and de-escalation at all times. If you should see some counter-protesters, do not engage, do not respond. Do not let them bait you, ignore and move on. That sounded a little bit like Dr. Seuss. So the agenda for today, we have some really great speakers here that are going to talk to you about impacts from this administration. And then after we have some speakers, we're going to have a spoken word, some more speakers, and then we will march. The parade starts here and ends here, just an FYI. And at this point, I would like to introduce you to our MC for the day, Kaya Allen.
Oh, can't get this out.
What's up, Patriots? You ready to get this party started? While Trump's celebrating his birthday in Washington, D.C., I'm hoping for rain. $45 million, that's a year's worth of a federal employee's salary. All of the federal employees that he decided to get rid of. $45 million could have gone directly into their hands, and here we are. Are we North Korea? No. Are we Russia? No. That's damn right. We are America. My name is Kaya Allen. I am the producer of Bold and Beautiful Comedy here in Charlotte. I am also an advocate for Stop Cop City, Charlotte. If you don't know already, there's a Cop City. If you want to abolish ICE, if you want to abolish DHS being in our communities, start with that project. Today we are here to mock a man who wants to be an emperor. Is he an emperor? No. Is he a king? Damn right. We are here to mock a man who rose to power on the backs of the angry and the illiterate. This is a man who, he cares about poor people the way vampires care about their blood supply, okay? He is not an advocate for the working class. He is not an advocate for the poor. Who is an advocate for the working class and the poor? Us, the community. We are here to mock a man who has redefined leadership by tweeting from a toilet in all caps. Okay? This is not normal. It's not, guys. You may know him as the president, but I know him as a cautionary tale for pulling out. He is passing executive orders like he's playing Uno with the 4 horses of the apocalypse, okay? Every day is a fresh new hell, all right? And you guys are the ones out here making sure that that does not trickle into our communities. You are the ones making sure that our neighbors, friends, our family are protected, not this a-hole in the White House, not the clown car of representatives that he has decided were more qualified than the tons and tons of people that he fired to replace them. Not Puppy Popper Gnome, not Whiskey Leaks Pete Hegseth, and not that slithering slime ball Stephen Miller. Listen, I wanted to keep Stephen Miller out of the White House, but he doesn't use doors, he just slithers under them, okay? As soon as he got into the White House, he said, no more printers, we're writing everything in blood, okay? What a freaking nightmare. He does look like Nosferatu. The difference is Nosferatu can keep his wife, okay? Listen, she saw Elon's rocket and she said, I gotta get me some of that. What a douche. Okay. This is a admin filled with hypocrites. This is an admin who they have married immigrants. They are immigrants. Like, what are we talking about here? All of them have benefited from it, and they are using their power to disenfranchise the people that they don't care about, which is us. Are we going to let that happen? No kings. No crowns. No thrones. Fuck yeah, dude. Sorry, I wasn't supposed to curse. Speaking of which, oh, the ambulance is here. Everything's fine. Totally chill. Okay. Speaking of which, where is Melania? She has vanished faster than the last $40 in my bank account. Somewhere there's a Slovenian passport vibrating with the last essence of her soul. Okay? Oh my gosh. I feel like we lost our country in the worst custody battle imaginable. Oh, my notes. Anyone gotten their Doge check? We knew we weren't going to get that thing. All of that money is going into the top 1%, all right? All of that money from the tariffs, from the tax breaks, all of it is going into the people that want to suck us dry and have been sucking us dry for decades. And this MAGA insurgency will have us out here trying to pretend that it's the person who's doing the lawn. It's the person who is taking care of you at the hospital. It's everyone else, but who it actually is, it's corporations, right? God. We had our first messy breakup of Pride Month, Elon and Trump. Listen, this is what happens when you fill an admin with daddy issues, okay? It's gonna boil over. We're gonna have narcissists at each other's throats. They really thought that they were eating when he was like, I'll cancel your contracts, Elon. Cancel them! I want them gone. Cancel the contracts. And while we're at it, release the Epstein files. We want to see them. We know exactly what you are. You're a pervert and you're a con. And worst, you are out here representing all of these good American people on the world stage, and we will not have it. No kings. No thrones. No crowns. Fuck yeah, dude. All right. Now, before I introduce our next speakers, I just want a quick refresher of our First Amendment. Brought my handy-dandy Constitution. This admin likes to forget that this is a paper document that we can get to. And our president has used full use of this First Amendment, but wants to restrict our ability to use it. Oop. All right. Congress, not the king, not the God Emperor, not the president, shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. That means stop doing your Muslim bans. That means when you have Paula Bride praying over you as the next Messiah, that's gross, okay? Or abridging the freedom of speech, like every time he called vets suckers and losers. Every time yes. Every time he called a woman reporter stupid for a question. Every time he mocked anyone who bothered to give him any sort of criticism. This is not the kind of person that needs to be in leadership. If you cannot handle criticism, get out. Or of the press. So when you got banned off of Twitter and you decided to start Truth Social, that was your constitutional right. It does not mean you get to shoot reporters when they're reporting the news. It does not mean you get to eject them from the office when they decide to ask you the tough questions. Or the right of the people to peacefully assemble, like the 8 million rallies you held. Like anytime you encourage people to have, that's gone. Well, we have backups here. Oh, can you? Well, these are the notes for the next speakers. So I can't speak from my heart. I got my heart, but something. All right. Anytime you encouraged a bunch of people to go into spreader rallies, anytime you said, hey, listen, you don't have to listen to the government when they're trying to protect the welfare of everyone in the society. Wash your hands more. Maybe get vaccinated, okay? When you decided to have rallies for that was your First Amendment right as well, when you did that. So don't come for us when we're out here talking that shit. And finally, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Those 60 court cases you tried to file when you thought you had won the 2020 election, that's your opportunity for grievances and redress with the government, and you failed each one, you dumbass. All right, guys. Okay, sorry. We're going to introduce, before we introduce our next speaker, let's just go over the reasons why we're here. I think we've pretty much covered it. He is using our tax dollars for his party. The tax dollars, boo! Boo this man! He's using our tax dollars to reformat the White House. He is using our tax dollars to get refit jets from Qatar. He is using our tax dollars for... What the hell is what? What the hell? From the Qatar? Yes, I'm sorry. We're going to move on. And I'm cutting into time. We are united against kings. They have gone too far. This is bigger than political disagreement. They have divided our courts, deported American citizens, disappeared people off the streets, and slashed our services, all while orchestrating a massive giveaway to their billionaire allies. Enough is enough. We are standing together against the abuses of power. This is going to be like a theme for me. Okay, I'm gonna attack this clipboard here. We are standing together against the abuses of power, cruelty, and corruption. Today we gather to remind President Trump and his enablers, America has no king. Now, I'd love to introduce our very first speaker. It is Representative Jordan Lopez from House District 112 or 112. Jordan Lopez is an East Charlotte native and proud product of Charlotte-Mecklenburg Public Schools. Jordan works in the legislature to be a voice for East Charlotte and to ensure that North Carolina is a strong community that is welcoming and accessible for all. A representative for NC House 112, Jordan fights for economic opportunity, better public education, infrastructure that works for everyone, investment in children and families, and protecting our democracy. Please give a round of applause to Jordan, everybody.
Well, thank you, Kaya, and good morning, everybody. Let me try it one more time. Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for being here this morning. It is so great to see you. And before we get started, I want to say thank you to Indivisible Charlotte for organizing this rally. It is so good to see all of your faces out here this morning. And I also want to apologize in advance if I seem a little nervous. I've never spoken in front of this many people before, and that is both a good problem to have, and I'm a little nervous. So cut me a little slack if I fault a little bit, right? On behalf of the Mecklenburg County Legislative Delegation, I bring you greetings. We are up in Raleigh every single day, week in and week out, fighting on your behalf, pushing back against the North Carolina Republican Party and their bull crap the same way that we all are out here to do today with this administration. I also want to try something new. Whenever I say, we have no, I want you all to say, kings. Can we try it a couple of times? We have no. Kings. We have no. Kings. We have no. Kings. Damn right. So, as we see what's going on out in Los Angeles, where the United States military is arresting civilians for the first time in our nation's history, we have to come out here today to remind this administration, this state, and the world that we have no, that we have no, that we have no. When the Republican Party in Congress is cutting hundreds of millions of dollars from Medicaid programs that over 1 million North Carolinians rely on for access to health care, to pay for tax cuts for billionaires, we have to remind these folks that we have no. Exactly. When they are cutting hundreds of millions for SNAP benefits that ensure people have access to food, in a state where 1 in 6 people are food insecure, we have to remind these people that we have no. Because who the hell are you working for? If making sure people can't eat, if making sure people can't access their doctor isn't a priority for you, what are you doing other than serving somebody other than yourself, or just serving yourself in the first place? Focusing on North Carolina, when we have a state that is already seeing a surge in gun violence, a city that is already seeing a surge in gun violence, and yet our legislature is passing bills to make it easier to get more guns because our legislative leadership, boo them, for sure. Let them know, because they don't listen to us in the building. Trust me, we've tried our best, but let them know that that is not what we want here. When we have more than a handful of problems to solve, and our legislature says, you know what, let's blame immigrants for everything. It's time to remind them, yeah, boo, because I know it's not at me, it's at the folks up in Raleigh. Trust me, I'm okay with it. We have to stand up every single day to remind them that we have bigger problems than these messages that they want to push, than this divide and conquer tactic that they have been putting into use for the past several years to make us otherize anybody else. The problems that we face today, it was said earlier, they're caused by corporations. They're caused by Republican policies that place profits over people, that place, self-preservation over democracy. When our legislature gets to handpick their voters, that's Speaker Hall and Senate Leader Pro Tem, Phil Berger, acting like kings. And again, they like to act like that, but we're here today to remind them that, again, we have no. We have no. Unlike a lot of politicians, I believe in being brief. So I do not expect to be up here long. I just want to say thank you for being out here this morning. Thank you for not only sharing some of your Saturday morning with us, but for showing the rest of this state the rest of this country and the additional 2,000 protests going on across this country that this is what democracy looks like. That we will show up every weekend to fight for democracy, even if it means spending a Saturday morning outside in the warm weather when we could be doing something else, but we'd rather be here because this country is important to us. Our democracy is important to us. So we show up and we show out, and thank you, because we in America have no damn straight. Thank you all.
Thank you. Keep it going for Jordan, everybody. It is so important to have a representative that actually has the thoughts and wishes of their constituents in mind. We are out here, we consent every day. We are in America to be governed. And if you can't do what you're supposed to as a legislator, you get voted out. That is how this country works. The only silver lining to this whole debacle is I think all of us are a bit more aware of who our representatives are and what they're voting on. I cannot wait for the midterms. All right, next up, we have a veteran and teacher. Wes Fryer is a U.S. Air Force veteran, a 30-year educator, and a current middle school classroom teacher here in Charlotte, teaching STEM. We love our teachers. And media literacy, a graduate of the U.S. Air Force Academy and Fulbright scholar. He is passionate about strengthening democratic norms, civic responsibility, and building community. Give it up for Wes, everybody.
Let me start by saying how beautiful you are. Imagine this, a diverse, pluralistic, representative democracy. What a concept. All right, at the risk of revealing who's a little older here, who remembers Schoolhouse Rock? All right, so a lot of us that took civics back in the day, we watched Schoolhouse Rock. Do you remember I'm Only a Bill? I'm only a bill, yes, I'm only a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill, and I don't remember the rest, and I'm not going to sing. All right, but that's the point, all right? That simple cartoon taught, and if you don't know it, Google it, all right? Or ChatGPT it, all right? Because it's on YouTube. That simple cartoon taught so many of us how our government is supposed to work. A bill gets introduced. It gets debated. It gets passed by Congress and signed by the president. That's how laws are made. But what happens when a president decides he's above all that? What happens when executive orders replace democratic debate? When due process is ignored and the Constitution is treated like an obstacle rather than a guide. That's why we're here today. I am speaking to you not just as a current middle school classroom teacher. How many teachers do we have out there? Thank you. Thank you, teachers. How many retired teachers do we have out there? Thank you. But I'm also speaking to you as a veteran of the United States Air Force. On May 27th, 1992, I raised my right hand and I took an oath with 1,087 other classmates at a little school you might have heard of in Colorado Springs. I actually got to see the graduation this past year, about 2 weeks ago at the Air Force Academy. And what do we pledge when we receive a commission in the United States military? To support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Today, this oath means everything to me. How many of you have taken an oath like that? But ladies and gentlemen, I want to be clear that our fellow Americans, our neighbors, our co-workers, our family members, are not our enemies. They are our community. The real threat we face today is authoritarianism and fascism. And let me add to that white supremacy, misogyny, and racism. So why no kings? Hey, let me just ask a question. How many of you are on social media? Anybody? Well, I'm going to say this at the end, but I'll just say it now. We need to resist with media too. We need to tell our communities, because we're all connected to different folks, why are we here? Why did you take a risk to be here today? There are folks that are not here who might want to be here. They're not here, and we took a risk to be here. We are here because the founders of our country rejected monarchy. They built a system of separation of powers with 3 co-equal branches of government. They believed no one person should hold unchecked power because religious liberty and pluralism, not theocracy, not Christian nationalism, were foundational values. And because in the United States, the power still belongs to the people, to us. So I'll close with a quick story. Last week, my wife and I were up near Cherokee, North Carolina. Who's from Western North Carolina? Anybody come from Western North Carolina? What a beautiful part of our state. Still recovering from Helene, but as beautiful as I could have ever imagined, okay? And I wanted to cook shrimp and grits our last night there, and I forgot to bring some flour. So I took my measuring cup and I went to some nearby campsites. And I ended up meeting 3 different groups who I'd never met before. And each one of those sets of campers, those families, greeted me and welcomed me with warmth and kindness. And I found the flour that I needed for my recipe. But I was also reminded of something. And that is that this country is full of good people. Our country is full of people just like you who care about the values of our nation. And so I want to thank you for being here. This rally, this march, this is what civic duty looks like. This is what love of country looks like. So I've already kind of told you my conclusion. I want to encourage you after today to not stop. Go tell your story. Find out the story of your neighbors. Meet your neighbors. Connect with them. Invite them to break bread together. Because we have so much more in common than we have that separate us as Americans. Go on TikTok, go on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Share your voice. Let's resist with media. Talk about what brought you here, what you're standing for, what kind of future you believe in. And if you want to use a hashtag, you can hashtag no kings, but who are we here, Charlotte? We're CLT, right? No Kings CLT, baby. Tag it. No Kings CLT. Tell your story. We are citizens of a multiracial, pluralistic, and democratic republic, and we must never forget that democracy isn't inherited, it's built together, and that's what we're doing today. So, thank you for standing here with me. Let's keep resisting, let's keep building, and let's keep believing in the better future we know is possible, and we will build together.
All right, we're going to keep it moving along. This guy's straw hat is about to melt right off his head. Next up, we have Jen Mangrum. She is the organizing director of North Carolina's American Federation of Teachers. She has more than 35 years in K-12 public school and university classrooms and is a champion for public education. Give her a round of applause, everybody.
Hello, Charlotte. This is awesome.
So, you guys look great. As you know, Project 2025 is alive and living through the Trump regime. This authoritarian has gone step by step, destroying our rights and our democracy. And in our public education realm, and his regime has done the following. They have censored critical discussions. They've whitewashed history. They've banned books. They've violated the civil rights of our students. He is dismantling the Department of Education and intentionally defunding public schools. I think I love y'all. And instead, he is budgeting billions of dollars for vouchers, which are welfare for the wealthy. His nasty budget bill rolls back a half-century effort to make educational opportunities consistent across our states. The Trump regime is purposely destroying public education so they can make money, they can force their ideology on what is taught and what is not taught, and they can decide who is worthy of education. I saw there were a lot of teachers out here. Wes, had you raise your hand? For more than a decade, those of us in public education have been screaming at the top of our lungs that we must save public education in our schools. In North Carolina, we have our own Trump regime, the leadership in our General Assembly. They have splashed spending, starved public schools of appropriate resources, demanded what curriculum, assessments, and devices are bought and implemented in our schools. They've created discriminatory laws that keep diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives out of our schools. They've even ignored a ruling by the North Carolina Supreme Court to immediately give our schools millions of dollars necessary to educate our children and follow the North Carolina Constitution. These Trumpian regime moves have caused a critical shortage of teachers, just as Trumpians planned it to do. If our fantastic, amazing educators leave teaching, families will leave schools too. I began teaching in 1987, and I can tell you that North Carolina was once a model for strong public education from our pre-K to our universities. Now, even our universities are impacted. They're being forced to cut liberal arts programs. They must create and require history courses that tell both sides, whatever the heck that is. They're eliminating positions that help our most vulnerable students, and they're removing DEI words from our lectures and from our syllabi. We can't use the words gender, racial discrimination, or even the word women. As Kaya mentioned, I consider myself a champion for teachers, and it started at an early age. My mom was an amazing kindergarten teacher, and I looked up to her. One morning before middle school, my father yelled for me in the kitchen. I ran, and he started calling the paramedics. My mother was in the midst of a massive heart attack. My dad left with the paramedics and left me home alone. Not knowing what to do, I walked to school. And I did that because I knew my teachers would help me make sense of the chaos. And unfortunately, all of you educators out there do this kind of thing every day. Thank you. My mom died that morning. Without oversharing, if it hadn't been for the teachers in my life, I wouldn't be where I am today. In hindsight, my mom put her students' health before her own. You see, at their very core, that's who teachers are. That's who teacher assistants are. That's who school counselors and social workers and bus drivers and after-school caregivers, etc. Every single person who works in public schools does that. They are our heroes in our community, and because of my experience, I am compelled to help unionize teachers, empower them through the American Federation of Teachers. We cannot continue down this anti-public school path. But I'm not just against the regime, I'm also for things, right? Public education, we want and deserve a great teacher in every classroom, in every school. We must pay our teachers at least the national average. We must pay our bus drivers, cafeteria workers, assistants, and all who work for schools wages that are commensurate with the important work that they do for all of North Carolina's children. We also want our schools to have equal access to courses, to their facilities, and to the programs they offer. We want our General Assembly to abide by the ruling of the Leandro case and ensure that a child's school experience doesn't differ because of their zip code. We want our local schools and our professional educators to decide what we teach in the classroom and how it's presented. Teachers know that these scripted lessons they're given, the ridiculous number of assessments given to our children, and the tech devices they're forced on for hours are made by the decisions of the General Assembly and aren't what's good for our kids. Our children should never be used to lure in dark money or to bring in large corporate and personal donations. Y'all, we can change this. Democrative is a collective project. And as a former teacher and professor, I'm giving us an assignment. Let's elect pro-public education candidates in 2026. How will you know if they're pro-public education? Well, once they say the word voucher, scratch it. Vouchers are a gimmick to defund public schools even worse than they are. Folks, we must protect our kids. Protect our kids and their future. Keep on rallying like this in community. Keep organizing. The Trump regime, they want to divide us. Our call to action is to stand up together for democracy. Let's stand up for things like truth, democracy, diversity, and of course, a strong public education for every child in North Carolina. Fund education, not corporations. Fund education, not corporations.
Fund education, not corporations.
Thank you, Charlotte. All right, we're doing a little change of pace. Up next, we got a spoken word by Scott from Drum Song. He's going to do a little bit of MAGA spoken word called Fool's Gold. Give it up for Scott, everybody.
Good luck. We are here together for basically one reason. Yes, I get it. Clearly, we know there are too many issues to post on one sign. But ultimately, we're together because we care. We care for our planet, our family, our neighbors, democracy, and our rights, and our sanity. And we understand that when people focus their attention towards positive results, they will manifest. Feel the unity and appreciate the opportunity to share it collectively with compassionate, passionate people peacefully gathered here and in over 2,000 cities globally right now. I started writing a piece on the day of inauguration, January 20th, 2017. I picked it up again on the day of the Emperor's gold shoe sales and tried to finish it on the day of inauguration, January 20th, 2025.
You get a pardon.
And I appreciate that. I call it Fool's Gold, a MAGA saga. And I can't stop adding verses. You can fool all the people some of the time. You can fool some of the people all of the time. Abe Lincoln, parts 1 and 2. The emperor is naked, bears no clothes, dons transparent, orange skin, affairs exposed, nothing of value, a MAGA void of domains, nothing worth draping, even solid rags over remains. A vacant shell of self-aggrandizing testaments, unadorned, kindness scorned, scandalizing and morally stripped of viable vestments, wrapped only in lies and cheats, sheets cover deceits for his own advancement. His cleats tramp a goose-stepped dance of faux fettered enhancement. Sanity barely dents the dense narcissistic cape of vanity, obsessed with revenge, consumed with vengeance. Only intense dominance inspires this snake of humanity. The thread count in his head mount is negligible. Unraveled, one sees through the veneers, untenable and unintelligible. Not an ounce of compassion, no part worth enhancing, no heart in the dark of the cavity. Your tongue just used for licking and lashing, all pounce and trounce, a vindictive, cruel tool of depravity. Nothing but a corrupting crook. Casinos, Bible, crypto, book, shoes, watch, university, stakes, all fakes. White House or jail, you're on the takes. Villainy designs are par for your course. Casinos, Bible, crypto, book. A litany of crimes, but maybe the worst. A children's cancer charity that you and your sons bilked. Still, select me, elect me, pardon my guilt. First day dictator, both sides good peeps, women love me, protest of peace, beautiful call to Kyiv, what card you flippin'? With such inflamed hysterics, gerrymandered clerics, Supreme Court carved, hard right for your pickin'. Tailor-made mayhem, slack of weave warps us versus them, sown seedy deceit, insatiable greed competes for irrelevant bigliest rating receipts. Your smug charade belies a slug trail of ketchup, wretched burgers, and flies. Roiled by Putin and greased in musk, soiled by suits who kill just for tusks. Blown up bridges of promises, a totality of nothing. You say you'll pay, you'll pray, USA, but in reality, you're bluffing. Deep fried lies, we all sighs. Democracy cries while you're looting. MAGA burst, America first, while paying, praying, and a shooting. No pitch can patch such historic infamity, purveyor of calamity, pandemic uncanny, immigration slandery. Shouts, border, border, zip up the borders, but leave the fly open until I alone restores order. Criminals absolved, truth dissolved, self-serving to serve, only selfish resolved. You live by alternative facts in a house of despicable acts, regardless court's bias. You are light years of lifetimes from pious. Any protest, and sure, you'll fry us. Hallelujah, say those of the sermons. Did we not learn a thickened thing from the Germans? How in hell you not smell the vermin? Will rule by Reich, by wrong and might. I'm here to stay, you will obey. Oh, he won't bite, just bad jokes and hype, albeit ich bin dictator for the day. Self-proclaimed savior, most unpious behavior, says they never met, but for sex and silence he paid her. Women's reproductive rights aborted, rhyme and reason distorted, books banned, history and allies canned, environmental foe and full of faux fact scams, gender spanking, autocrat thanking, country tanking, convicted and conflicted oligarchs snitch, conscription spurned, dictator yearned, Putin's wannabe bitch. His Senate bows, kowtows, loves, hates him. Who knows what stitches bind them, who he has what on, who did what to whom and when. Blood-sucking parasite, only blight from this bloated tick. His base thinks he loves them, but he don't give a flick. Misguided religious alliances steer their choices, rather follow and parrot the hollow rotten carrot than think and speak with their own God-given voices. Steals files, files appeals. Just find me a few more votes on self-reflection and apologies. You downright up and choke. Mocks veterans, working class, viable press, and disabled. New depths have gone wrong when own citizens fear to be targeted, labeled, and tabled. The rules of law don't bind you. Nothing short of disdain defines you. And the rules of heart can't kind you. Anything short of gain blinds you. Unhinged, uncaring, unaware of any component at any given moment, follows no plot. Wait, what? Protects women whether they like it or not? A bottomless, whining victim run amok, a brash, flash, thread-worn, faux-scorned sitcom schmuck, guilty as thinks he's winning, but he's just spinning while driving a Big Mac MAGA garbage truck. Your name, you say, trumps all chumps. You declare service heroes zeros, hardened criminals pardoned, oppressed nations shithole dumps, love notes from dictators and billionaires slam dunks, insurgent punk evil, praised as mock.
Sorry to interrupt. Tell them to land that drone right now.
I'm sorry, the drone needs to be landed right now. Thank you. Insurgent punk evil, praised as monks. Climate change debunks. Cabinet full of ass-kissing runts. Asylum-seeking immigrants as junkies, monkeys, rapists, murderers, all lumped. Women valued only for their rumps. Lack of even a primitive soul on all fronts. But just look at those stumpy new pumps. Takes not but one view to see thoroughly through discorded runny hues, relentless cues, revealing clues, bad check blues, bruised kneed pews, tasteless, baseless, feeds so few, stone stews, how you do what you do's. Yet you expect the world to pay your witch hunt, humanity shunt, make me rich, tax stunt dues. Everything bare, nothing to share, except just a pair of fool's gold shoes. You think you shine, but you can't fool all the people all the time. Abe Lincoln, Part 3.
All right, y'all, we got two more speakers, and then we were going to continue our march. You guys still with me? God's on our side. He brought us clouds, baby. I hope you packed sunscreen. All right. Please welcome to stage our next speaker, Marcelle Villot. She is the organizer of Charlotte Metrolina Labor Council.
Good afternoon, Charlotte. It's a hot one. And because I'm a labor organizer, my speech is this big. Because we need to get to it. I know that's right. So yes, my name is Marcelle Villot, and I'm the organizer with the Charlotte Metrolina Labor Council and a proud member of CWA. Go Union! Today, across the country, people people from all walks of life are joining together to proclaim that this is not the land of tyrants and monarchs. This country belongs to everyday working people. Today, that's right. Okay, it's our stuff. Yes. Today in our city, we also celebrate the promise of liberation. In Plaza Midwood, we have begun our week-long celebration of Emancipation Day, also known as Juneteenth. Days where we commemorate the liberation of enslaved descendants of African people in Galveston, Texas. 2 months after the Civil War had ended, in 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. What a timely moment to reflect on our constant collective struggle for liberation of all people, regardless of their background, regardless of their status, regardless of their nation of origin. While it is a great shame that this country continues the tradition of trafficking humans, exploiting labor, and separating families, trading transatlantic boats for cargo planes and buses, we must rejoice in the fact that we, the people, also continue the tradition of resistance and rejection of tyranny. Today, on Flag Day, we celebrate not only the marker of independence in this country, but also the work of a seamstress from Philadelphia named Betsy Ross. It is a clear reminder that what lives in that sacred space between dreams and reality is the labor required to get shit done. Woo! Y'all felt that one? I did. And the audacious courage to see it through. So today, I leave you with this message. Nothing, and I mean nothing, moves in this city, in this county, in this state, in this country without us working families, without the labor that transforms American dreams. That's right. Without the labor that transforms American dreams into our collective reality. While this work may seem thankless and unending, without the labor that there we go, we're getting there. While this work may seem thankless and unending, I assure you, the rewards on the other side of this labor of love means a better world than what we are living in today. So, as we proclaim no crowns, no thrones, no kings, we must also proclaim that because nothing in this land moves without us, that the twisted dreams of the oligarchs and the naked emperors will remain just that. Let's go get them.
I hope you will forgive me. I found the other person. There is technically 2 more people. Don't be mad at me, guys. Don't be mad, all right? I promise. Give it up for all of our speakers so far. All right. Up next, we have Stefania Ortega, who is the co-founder of Carolina Migrant Network and is a dedicated strategist at fighting back the tide of ICE enforcement in our community. Please give her a round of applause.
Hey y'all, I'm little, I'm sorry. ¿Cómo está mi gente? In the spirit of language justice, because we all come different backgrounds, I'm gonna start in Spanish. Por el el derecho a la justicia al lenguaje. Voy a comenzar en español porque aquí no hay ningún solo lenguaje en este país. Mi nombre es Estefanía Arteaga, orgullosamente salvadoreña y en contra de la dictadura de Bukele. Estoy aquí porque yo vine a los Estados Unidos con mi familia. Viví debajo de la workplace rate más grande de la administración de Bush. Mi existencia ha sido resistencia en este país. Y estoy aquí porque como muchos de ustedes, estoy encabronada. I'm pissed. Estoy encabronada porque estoy harta que quieran que trabajemos y que no nos paguen suficiente. Estoy harta de tener que tener miedo de cruzar la calle. Estoy harta porque me emputa. Escuchar de niños que tienen miedo que sus papás no lleguen a la casa. Eso no es justo. Estoy aquí porque el trompetas se está pasando y hay que ponerle su paro. Estoy aquí porque lo que pasó en Los Ángeles no se puede repetir y no se puede justificar. Sabemos muy bien que la criminalización de nuestro pueblo es una herramienta de los gobiernos tiránicos. Sabemos que cuando nuestra gente la quieren meter en las cárceles, esa es una herramienta de opresión. Les quiero decir dos cosas. No nos vayamos muy lejos. El viernes pasado, cuando comenzó lo de Los Ángeles, ¿qué es lo que hizo el partido de mayoría aquí en Carolina del Norte? Pasaron rápidamente 2 propuestas de ley para criminalizar a nuestra gente. Pasaron 2 propuestas para que la policía local y estatal fueran una extensión de ICE. Y ahorita mismo el gobernador Stein tiene hasta este viernes para vetar estas propuestas. Y necesitamos que las veta. Porque esto no es si hay criminales o no, Esto es, ¿qué vas a hacer contra el fascismo? ¿Qué vas a hacer contra los fachos? Así que para mi gente latina que está aquí ahorita le vamos a dar una acción. Ahorita mismo vamos a tomar acción. Van a ir a la página de Carolina Migrant Network, van a abrir nuestro Linktree y van a buscar la acción para decirle al gobernador Stein que nosotros demandamos que vete las propuestas anti-inmigrantes que quieren poner a nuestra gente en las cárceles y que quiere poner a nuestra gente en aviones de deportaciones. All right, it's English time, y'all. I'll be quick. All right, y'all. So I am proudly Salvadoran. But that does not mean I support the dictator Bukele in El Salvador. Let me be clear. I am proud to be an immigrant in this country, proud to have lived through the largest workplace raid under the Bush administration. I am proud to have been able to move to North Carolina and fight back against tyrannical policies under various administrations. And I am pissed. I am pissed because we are seeing families and have been seeing families ripped apart. We have been seeing children call our ICE hotline because they're scared if their parents are going to come home. What other kidnappings may be happening by federal law enforcement? I am pissed, and we can't stand by that. That's right. LA was just a glimpse of what this government is trying to do, right? It is just a glimpse of fascism. Listen to this. Criminalization of black and brown people is a tool of authoritarian governments to suppress. When they're telling you they're getting the bad guys, when they're telling you getting the criminals, Don't believe them words. We know that for history, since enslavement, since Reconstruction and Jim Crow, criminalization has been used in this country to put black and brown bodies in jails. And let's not go very far from the federal government. I want to let y'all know what happened this week. 3 days after ICE raided Las Vegas, our state legislators fast-tracked 2 anti-immigrant bills here in North Carolina. These bills, that's right, these bills would make it so state and local law enforcement become an extension of ICE. And we want to send a clear message to Governor Stein. These bills are on his desk right now. He has until Friday to veto them. What do we want? We want a veto. So I know y'all are here to hear the speakers. We're going to march, but I also want to do a call to action right now. Y'all are going to pull out your phones. Veto. Y'all are going to pull out your phones. You're going to go to Carolina Migrant Network social media, and you're going to pull up the action alert to click and quickly send Governor Stein a message and let him know that we are watching. We need you to stand up against fascism. We need you to stand up against the criminalization of black and brown people. We need you to veto House Bill 318 and Senate Bill 153. And I know I don't have much time, so we're going to end with a chant. This is an easy one. It's a quick one. When immigrant lives are under attack, what do we do? When Palestinian lives are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When black lives are under attack, what do we do? I love that, y'all. No kings, no emperors. Let's do this.
All right, please welcome the Charlotte Immigrant Justice Director of Action NC, Hector Vaca.
Hey everybody, I know everybody's burning up, so I happen to be the last speaker, so we can finally get the show on the road. I knew I'd get applause for that. So once again, I'm Hector Vaca. I'm the Immigrant Justice Director for Action NC. I'm here today because I am angry. I'm pissed off at this administration and what they're doing to our community. Our country is in crisis under the Trump administration, the Trump regime, and their allies continue to wage a campaign of terror in our community. Since Inauguration Day, there have been a host of executive orders targeting and criminalizing the immigrant community. Study after study has shown that as immigration increases, crime actually goes down in our community, with the largest effects on municipalities with long histories of immigration. According to U.S. law, being in this country without authorization is not a criminal offense. It is an administrative offense, like a billionaire not paying their taxes. On the other hand, contrary to what the MAGA crowd says, immigrants do pay taxes. In 2022, undocumented migrants paid $96.7 billion in federal, state, and local taxes. For every 1 million undocumented people in the U.S., public services received $8.9 billion in additional revenue. Undocumented migrants pay more taxes than the 5 richest Americans and more than the 55 mega corporations in the U.S., including Bank of America, Netflix, Target, and our very own North Carolina, Duke Energy. Not only do immigrants pay taxes, but they build our country and make America great. But they're not just an economic talking point. Immigrants are our neighbors. They're our family members. They are our best friends. They are the children they are the classmates of our children. They are the parents in the carpool lane. They are the people we love most. Hell, they're even the wives of our dictator-in-chief and his subordinate. And still, this regime has chosen to demonize them. Every day we hear of the terrorist organization known as ICE, illegally kidnapping parents while dropping off their kids at school, walking out of court, driving home from work, shopping, leaving their homes, or just plain walking down the street. Knowing that migrants pay taxes, the Trump regime has actually brokered a deal between the IRS and ICE in order to find out where they are. Sadly, one of our speakers couldn't make it here tonight, but this is what she told me about the conditions once they're in the jails. She told me about a gentleman who was screaming and crying because he was about to die in a cell with 100 people and only 70 beds, which means 30 people on the floor. And the ICE agents only kept laughing. After he died, they finally came in and got him, and they're trying to rule it as a suicide. Those are the conditions in these jails. They eat expired food, spoiled food. In Congress, Trump's MAGA conspirators have introduced bills that scapegoat immigrants and use them as vehicles to curtail our rights and defund vital services in our community. H.R. 32, otherwise known as the Sanctuary City Bill, that targets any city that welcomes immigrants. Let's be clear, this bill is a Trojan horse to take away vital services like domestic violence shelters, healthcare services, school lunch programs, and more. H.R. 22, otherwise known as the SAVE Act, could lead to eligible U.S. citizens, including women who are married, and people who lived through the civil rights era losing their right to vote. Right now, Senator Ted Budd, North Carolina's Ted Budd, is trying to introduce the Remove Act, which seeks to fast-track removal proceedings and deport people that much faster. But here's the good news. We can stop these bad things. We can win if we continue doing what we're doing right here, right now, and pushing back. We must resist. The resistance is contagious if we commit to spreading it. Our voices will be heard. If we open our mouths and speak truth to power, we must be courageous and stubborn. Not just that, we must demand the same courageousness and stubbornness from our elected officials. And if they don't vote with the people, vote them out, no matter what party they belong to. But vote them out! Vote them out! Vote them out! So here's the thing. I'm going to end it with this. Can we count on all of you to be the shield that keeps our community safe? Can we count on you to be the sword that fights the bigotry and the oppression? Can we count on you to lead the resistance? In the end, can we count on you? Thank you.
All right, Patriots, you ready to get the show on the road? All right, here's your homework. Here's your call to action. Sign up with the organizations out here tabling. Stay involved. Call your senators. Tell them to vote no against our big, ugly bill. All right? Not just the federal issues, but also locally. Voting no. We want Stein to veto that bill. That means even further. The Stop Cop City, Charlotte, we want to reach out to your commissioners. Stop that project, okay? They don't need to be using a funding loophole to fund infrastructure that is going to arrest our community. Tell your stories. Have the power to help us change the narrative by sharing your story with friends, family, and beyond. Use your voice. I want to thank our volunteers, the planning committee, partners, marshals, sound manager, our ASL interpreters. Media, thank you all for attending. Now, gather all your people. some groups are going to want to march together. AFT and Labeler, they're going to be at their table. Calm, raise your sign high. Indivisible, give it up for Indivisible for putting this all together, guys. Whether you arrived alone or with a group of friends, jump in and grab a percussion instrument on your way out of the park. March as little or as long as you're comfortable, or feel free to remain here in the park and visit with the partner organizations at the table. And then we have Drumstrong here, and they're going to get us started.
All right. To accent our intentions today, we're providing small percussion instruments, which you can pick up on your way out of the park. Please just take one, and please return it when you get back here. We're going to use them again for other events. Now, moving forward, we invite you to set your intention, hold it in your heart, express it with your pulse in every step. Let's march together with hope and determination for change and positive results. In the words of the late, great John Lennon, will you get on your feet and into the street singing, power to the people, power to the people, power to the people, power to the people, right on, power to the people. Sing it. Power to the people. Let's move this way. Power to the people. Power to the people. Right on.